Okay, welcome to Living with Grandpa John, where I'm not showing you how to do it. I'm showing you how I do it. Now today we're going to do razor clams, and we're going to make fritters out of them. Not really fritters, we're going to make fried razor clams. So we're going to do just with grease, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika, and all-purpose flour. So we're going to start out by getting the plate. You have a plate, sir?
Wrong. Right here. It's over here.
Well, I guess this will work. Okay. Got all-purpose flour. I'm going to start out with about 1 cup of all-purpose flour. By the way, this is Anthony, and my cinema photographer is AJ. You put about 1 cup. That's probably a little bit more than a cup, but it just came out that way. So, and we're going to do 10 razor clams. Okay, we're going to start out with pepper. And we're doing a 3 different type of brine. We have red peppers, black peppers, and white peppers, and we're going to do a combination of all 3. And I'm going to do it pretty heavy. There we go. Now we're going to do a little onion powder and garlic powder. Again, a little bit heavy because of the flour. So you see how you put it up about that much. And about that much. And then we get some salt. Do we have any salt, Anthony? We're going to use ground paprika. I would prefer to have smoked paprika, but we don't have it, so you use what you have. There we go. Thank you very much, sir. And we're going to put all this stuff back where we got it from. There we go. Now we're going to do about 1 teaspoon of salt. If you look, that's about a teaspoon there. Now you can, my suggestion is, if you're not sure about how much that is just practice. Put it in your hand, take a teaspoon, put it in the teaspoon, and see how much it is. You do it 3 or 4 times, you get a pretty good idea of how much it is. Now, good old-fashioned hands. We're going to mix all of this together. Now, I'm going through right now looking for any lumps, and I'm crushing the lumps because you don't want any lumps. Okay. Now, what type of oil is this?
A vegetable oil.
So we're going to use vegetable oil today. Normally I would use lard, but you use what you have. This is vegetable oil. So we're going to heat it up to about 350.
Move the plate.
Yeah, we're going to move all this stuff out of the way.
The plate.
Okay. I'm going to start by coating these. I need to find a little flatter place. I'll do it right here. You have a thermometer, which is always good to check so you can check your oil. Anthony, can you give me a plate, please?
A plate?
A plate. All right, thank you. And now I'm shaking off all the excess off of that, and we're going to let it rest for a few seconds, actually a couple minutes to be actually honest. We're going to wait for, so you shake off all the excess. Now we have 10 of these clams, and there's 3 of us, so that's probably about right. And of course you have other things to add to it. Now my favorite thing to do with these clams is to have some kind of a dipping sauce. But today we're going to do a la carte. We're just going to do them all by themselves so we get to taste the sweetness of the clams. And don't be afraid to use your fingers. Like the old saying goes, God made fingers before he made forks. So you want this thing to be coated on all sides, top, bottom, side. And of course you shake off all the excess. Now these are the feet of the clam right here. If you look at them. These are pretty meaty. So we got some pretty good sized clams. And this is the body of the clam. Now when you're doing flour or breading or anything like that, you want to let it sit for a couple minutes after you bread it. Because if you put it in there too fast, the grease will pull the breading right off and you won't have any breading on your whatever you're frying, in this case clams. So you gotta let it sit for a minute or two for the clam, in this case, to absorb that breading. You shake off all the excess. So AJ.
Yes, sir.
What's your experience with clams and mussels and oysters and vertebrates? Have you had very much experience eating, cooking, cleaning any of these items?
You know, not really, sir. I think the only experience I've ever had with any water creatures, just fish, stuff like catfish.
Okay, so you haven't experienced invertebrates very much.
Not much at all.
Okay. And Dad, have you had much experience with invertebrates?
I've eaten plenty of everything. Everything that's ever been invited to me, I've eaten.
Now here's a bizarre question. Have you had sea cucumbers?
No.
Okay. Unfortunately, we caught one last weekend, but nobody knew how to cook it, so we tossed it back. I was so curious on how to cook it, but I didn't want to bring it home and have it died and not, because I don't know if you can keep it after it dies or not. So we tossed it back. But it was definitely an interesting looking creature. Okay, now I think we're all done with the breading part. Now I'm gonna let it sit for a minute or so. We have to get our temperature of our oil up to 350. 325 would work, but 350 works much better. I don't know where to put it at right now, sir. I'm gonna get this out of the way.
Dad, bring it right here. That way it's not on the stove.
There's a pause button on that.
There's a pause button? I don't know how to do it.
Okay, then just keep going. Now we're going to cook these, and we're going to eat just the clam because we want to find out what the flavor is of just the clams. Now we could put, normally I would eat clams with potatoes and a vegetable, be it corn or carrots and peas or something like that. I really like broccoli. You know, you'll blanch broccoli, put a little bit of butter and salt on top of it. It's great with clams, but in this case, we're just going to try the clams. Okay, we're up to 230 degrees. I see a little bit of smoke. That tells me that we're pretty close to the temperature we need. It's kind of slowing down, so it's not quite hot enough yet. It's at 236. So, which gives us time for the clams to sit there and absorb that flour a little bit. You have a rag. Oh. Thank you, sir. Drinks ready?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. What's your opinion of hard alcohol?
Don't really have a good opinion on it.
It's not. Excuse me. It's not your thing?
Not my thing at all.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, we're almost there. We're up to... We're close. 3... Come on, you can do it. I need a set of tongs, sir. By chance, can you give me a set of tongs?
They're right there.
Oh, never mind. AJ got them for me.
I got them dead.
Oh, you got them.
Okay, now we're going to start out with this part here. Now, when you're putting stuff into grease, you always do it away from you. You start at close to you, and then put it away from you. So if it spatters, like you can see right here, it'll spatter away from you. Now you want to cook these relatively quick. A minute, minute and a half on each side is good enough. Now people are worried about overcooking them, and that's true. If you get overcooked, they get kind of tough. And you don't want to deal with tough clams. I need one clean plate, please. Now if you notice all this bubbling, that tells you that there's water in the grease. That's what all that bubbling actually means. Thank you, sir. I'll switch with you. You take this one. I take that one. Are you keeping track of the time?
Yes, sir.
Now, I need a microphone. I don't have a good microphone. That's one problem I have. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's cranberry juice, so it's okay. Now we're going to do all the feet. Again, it's the same thing. You put in the grease, you always put it away from you so the splatter doesn't hit you. Now the feet, when you see them, you'll notice that they sink. Now when they start floating, it's still hot. Okay, well, I guess Anthony's going to find out that
Oh, you dropped the piece.
it's hot. Let it cool down, sir. When you put the feet in the grease, you'll see that they sink. When they come back to the surface, they'll be done. It goes in the sink, sir. Now, is this the first time your family has had razor clams that you know of?
And to my knowledge, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, this is a pretty simple recipe. Now, the only thing that would make it better is if we had some kind of a dipping sauce, like a tartar sauce, or a, like with shrimp, you'll have like a little, the red sauce that you use for shrimp. I can't, for some reason, I can't even think about what it's called. Me personally, I like mine just this way, a little salt and pepper, and it's great. But again, I'm, you know, I'm unique when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I am.
So we're almost done.
A little overdone. You heard me?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit overdone.
Well, I want to make sure that they're cooked. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but don't overcook them.
Let this piece here cool off a little bit and let AJ try that piece.
Try it.
He will. But we still got 4 more pieces to cook. I'm going to make sure we don't forget any. Now the biggest problem you have when you put so many pieces into your grease is your grease is at 350 degrees in this case. You put in a bunch of, in this case, clams. The temperature will drop down to 310, 320 degrees. So you have to let it build back up again, get to the temperature that you want. Now in the old days you would put in all your stuff and you crank the heat a little bit, but due to the fact that this is not my stove,
Say something good.
I don't understand, how much to adjust it. So I'm just going to put everything in, let it build up on its own, and go from there. I don't know how to pause it. Well, we're almost done, so just keep going, and I will cut out all the stuff that's irrelevant.
Yeah, this shit was hot.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Good.
That's good.
If you taste it, it has a slight sweet taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are probably the most popular clams in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Now Europe has razor clams too, but they're a lot smaller and they're round.
Mm-hmm.
And so
You chill out.
well, looks like we are done. I'm going to take the camera from AJ. I'm going to ask AJ to find a piece that's somewhat cool and give his honest opinion of what he thinks about Pacific Northwest razor clams. Now they're probably hot.
It's really good, like you were saying. Has a slight bit sweetness.
Do you think that adding a dipping sauce would improve it dramatically?
Think so. Just like eating crawfish.
Daddy, what do you think about the clams?
I think they're wonderful.
Okay, well, AJ, here's the camera back. Now, again, this is Living with Grandpa John. We harvested these clams this morning. Unfortunately, the wind was blowing so hard that we really couldn't get good video of me digging these clams up. I got 10 out of 12 because you're allowed 12 for your limit. And in my opinion, they came out great. Now, future reference, I would like to use pork lard as the fat because it gives it a slightly different flavor. But this is good enough as it is. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later.